This is Minister Paul on March 18th, 2014. Just caught this on our local news here. It's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Excuse me. Mystery plane flying over Sacramento. It's flying over my house too. Wanting to see what others people think this might be. Go ahead, babe.
I've never experienced ever anything like this with an aircraft in the area.
A mysterious airplane has been orbiting neighborhoods in Sacramento County, and people want to know why. We've received multiple inquiries from people living in the area north of Highway 50 and roughly centered between Watt and Howe Avenue.
Well, who is flying that plane in a very precise pattern, and just why are they doing it? News 10's George Warren went looking for answers today.
We got first notice it back in here above these trees, and it just follows the tree line here, and it'll just do a continuous loop.
Larry Bishop first noticed that plane a couple of weeks ago. Night and day, flying several thousand feet above his Arden Manor neighborhood.
This thing just loops and loops and loops. It'll just make a continuous pattern over and over, and it will fly almost exactly in the same pattern each time.
It just goes in left-hand circles almost all day long.
Pat Loft's been watching it too, over Arden Park.
Now I find it annoying, and I'm very curious about what's going on because it's been going on for more than 3 or 4 weeks.
This animated map from an online flight tracking service shows the airplane's movements on the evening of March 8th, although the plane's call sign is blocked. This composite radar map posted on one resident's Facebook page shows the pilot's precision.
I'll go to bed in the evenings, 11 o'clock at night, and it's still circling the house in the same pattern.
Dozens of people have weighed in online, some speculating it's the Drug Enforcement Administration seeking heat signatures of grow houses, which the DEA denies. The plane appears to be flying at an altitude that would not require contact with air traffic control, and the FAA, in fact, denies any knowledge of it.
But it's just really strange. I mean, I've never experienced ever anything like this with an aircraft in the area.
A very wide circle.
This is the part of the story where we usually solve the mystery. But this time we were hoping you might have the answer.
I would like the mystery solved. And I'm very, very curious what they're doing and why.
In Sacramento, George Warren.
Mystery plane over Sacramento. Thoughts? Shalom.
We're in a strange place. We got a strange way. Did we make the choice to stay the same? It's like another language. It's like another country. What you're showing me is backwards. I'm crashing through it blindly. If I don't try, we'll fade away. If I don't try, you'll leave today. So take your time, listen to me, baby. Hold it, breathe out. Please won't you try? I don't try, you'll leave today, so take your time. Listen to me, baby, hold it, breathe out. Please won't you try, look in my face, I won't lie, I want you to stay, so take your time. Listen to me, baby, hold it, breathe out. Hold it, breathe out. Hold it, breathe out.
As Karen had mentioned earlier, command was involved in every single mission that is carried out by Special Forces. Why were they not involved in the investigation? If they were part of that investigation, we may have found out about those 7 Afghans that were switched just before that flight was to take off. We may have found out that the 7 names on the manifest were not the same 7 people that were on that helicopter with our sons. So it's a shame that we as parents have to ask for a congressional investigation to find out answers to what us and the Vaughns and the Stranges and the other parents have been asking, but we certainly feel like we have that need, and we really appreciate you folks being here today to help support that. We're pleading with the American people to put the pressure on your congressmen and senators to make sure that that investigation does get started up and we do get some answers as to what was going on. Not so much that we can do anything for our families or our boys, but we want to make sure that our military is taken care of in the future. We're very proud of our military. We've got some great ties with many, many great families of the military that has reached out to us and that have shared our pain. And we want to make sure that their sons and daughters are protected and allowed to fight to the top of their abilities. Quite frankly, with our rules of engagement that we have right now, our military is not allowed to do that. We have got the finest fighting military of anybody in the world. And when our hands are tied back because of rules of engagement or any other type of thing that our government happens to be chasing at this point, we're wrong. Many times deadly, deadly wrong. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug and Sean. Well said. I next want to introduce Charles Strange, whose son Michael died, also a Navy SEAL, and his wife, Mary Ann Strange.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Charles Strange. My son's name was Michael Strange. Michael was a cryptologist for Special Ops. He was part of the Navy SEALs for SEAL Team 2 for a few years, and last almost 4 years he was part of SEAL Team 6. Michael was a brave American. He loved Philadelphia, where we're from, and he fought for this country. And Michael, being a crypto, the code for them is serve in silence. And that silence was broken by our administration. And all of a sudden there's movies, SEAL Team 6, documentary, SEAL Team 6, SEAL Team 6, this. Where did it all start? Joe Biden in Delaware in a tuxedo with a half a load on, telling everybody it was the elite Navy SEAL team. And this is our vice president? Come on, man, you know? Michael knew what he was getting into. Michael knew what he was fighting for. Michael knew that someday he might have to give the ultimate sacrifice. And, but not like this. To put my son in the most elite SEAL team in the world in a Chinook helicopter over an active battle that's going on for 3.5 hours, unacceptable. Unacceptable. Somebody has to answer for this. You know? A Chinook from 1985. You know? Look outside the picture. You know? Who's getting paid to keep rebuilding these Chinooks? Who's making the money? Right? 93 days after killing bin Laden, all of a sudden you're going to put 22 of the most elite in SEAL Team 6 in the world and 8 other great Americans into a Chinook over the battle. August 6th, I got the call about my son's death. It's like a knife in my heart that turns every day. I cry every day. I get sad every day. My other children, you know. Michael's 25 years old. And we go to Dover to see the bodies. And we're all in the hangar down there. And President Obama comes up to me and he says, "Mr. Strange," he grabs me by the shoulders, "Michael changed the way America lives." I grabbed Mr. President by the shoulders and I said, "I don't need to know about my son. I need to know what happened, Mr. President." And the Secret Service guys grabbed me. And I'm crying. And he went to give me a hug. And I whispered in his ear, I said, "Mr. President, is there going to be a congressional inquiry?" And Mr. President whispered in my ear, and I could feel his lips touching. He said, "Mr. Strange, we're going to look into this very, very, very deep." Well, I haven't heard nothing. October, we went down for General Colt's assessment of the investigation. We get there. They have a projector screen. The families are there. He's going over what happened. He said it went through a chain of command for this landing site. I raised my hand. I said, sir, could I have the names of that chain of command? His neck snaps. He said, it's in the book, sir. I said, how about the black box? Black box got blown away by the flood in Afghanistan. Come on. Can't find the black box, which is really orange. I looked it up in Google. Them black boxes don't go away. They lose black boxes in the swamps in Florida, and they find them. You're going to tell me you can't find the black box? Not acceptable. I tell my boss stuff like that, I get fired. Right? My son's 25-year-old son got set up and killed. So this goes on about, it's in the book, it's in the book. I have the book right here. They didn't put no ink in it. How can you give me a book with no ink in it? I call up the command. They said, we got a lot of complaints about that. I said, well, send me another one. We burned it. You burned it? They gave us a disc. Put the disc in the computer. It's whited out. See 2 sentences, it's whited out. My beautiful wife, I'm looking at it. I said, we have to do something with this disc. My wife, the genius, it's not me. Michael's stepmother, my heart and soul. We print it out. We print the disc out. It tells you everything. It was a setup. The Taliban sitting there with machine guns, motorcycles, phones. Who called them to tell them? Right? In the paperwork. Karen mentioned it. Billy mentioned it. General Colt's asking questions. What happened to the air controller? Did you check the area out? They were going into the Tangine Valley. Tangine Valley, it says in here, is the stronghold for the Taliban. You're going to put them in over the stronghold of the Taliban? Did anybody check the area out? Here it is, right here. Everybody can get a copy. It says, it's very brief again. It's out of the task force, blank. And it says something to the effect that over 100 Taliban plan to travel from Providence through the Tangine Valley to possibly shoot down the coalition force. May 11th, 10 days after they killed bin Laden, the Taliban know who's coming in a Chinook helicopter? Rules of engagement, it says in here, the Rangers are fighting the Taliban, right? They're chasing Quater, 8 of them. They kill 6, 2 get away. Quater and his buddy run into 18 to 20. It's in the paperwork. They run into 18 to 20 of them. I said, why didn't they take it out with a drone? The wind's the heart. What's his name? Admiral, he's lucky he ain't here. Admiral Horowitz turns around and says, to win the hearts and minds. How about my heart? How about my mind? I cry every day. My kids cry. To win the hearts and minds of them people, they hate us. They hate, my son told me they hate us. They know the rules of engagement. After the crash site, the Taliban walked up with kids in front of them to see if they could skin our kids alive. It's in the paperwork. I ain't making this up. I'm no military. It's in black and white. Pages. You know? So this mission goes on. He asks, about the air planners. Were there planners in there? No, we didn't see them. Who gave the okay? Who is going to be held responsible? Someone has to be held responsible. And it says in our paperwork, it goes all the way up to the top. It mentions Petraeus. It mentions Leon Panetta. All the way to the top. So General Colt's giving us this briefing, and he's telling us the helicopter's coming in. They're going to it's a pitch black. It's pitch black. But they see a couple guys on top of a building. They call up the Afghan administration to find out at 2 o'clock in the morning what these guys are doing on the building. You know what they told them? They're hanging crops. Now, I'm from Philadelphia, and we don't have many crops there. But I don't know people that hang crops up at 2 o'clock in the morning. And this is supposedly where the shot came from. General Colt says they shot an RPG 150 to 200 yards in the pitch dark. They have night vision goggles, the Taliban and the Al-Qaeda. They got AK-47s. They got RPGs. They got man pads. When we're changing the rules of engagement here to benefit them, we lost almost 7,000. Our guys coming home, does anybody know the suicide rate for these poor men coming home? It's 1 a day they're killing themselves. 1 a day these men are coming home. Killing themselves. I met men that were over there. Poor kid, you can't pop popcorn around them. We're changing the rules. So he says it's an RPG, a lucky shot. Are we playing basketball, hockey? Is he out of his mind? There's nothing lucky here. All our sons are dead. You know? I raised my hand. I said, General Colt, could it have been a missile? Heat-seeking missile, right? And there's no coincidence that Doherty and Woods might have found some heat-seeking missiles, right? Man pods, thousands of them, and all of a sudden you see what happened to them. All of a sudden, all these SEAL Team 6 guys are disappearing. Something is wrong. We need a congressional inquiry. Somebody has to be accountable for the biggest loss in this war. I have all the paperwork. I have all the questions. Everything's printed out. Billy and Karen Vaughn have been working their tail off helping us, you know? And here's no eye in the sky. The eye went off. When the helicopter got shot down, it's in the paperwork. We didn't know what helicopter got shot. It took us 10 minutes. My son, right? My son, Michael, was fighting for his life. Nobody came and helped. They didn't have the Pathfinders there to check the area. Nobody checked the light. Nobody came. Well, who's calling the shots here? This is bullshit. They told me my son had to be cremated. Everybody has to be cremated. My son didn't need to be cremated. I got pictures of my son. He was fighting. He had a gun in his hand. Come on. Fighting for this country, for us. And you're going to lie to me and slap me in the face? I called the command. I said, why'd you cremate my son? My son didn't want to be cremated. He's like, what do you mean? I got pictures of him. When I asked for the autopsy report from Dover, they sent me a disc with pictures. He's sitting there fighting. Everybody was burned beyond record. No, everybody wasn't burned beyond record. Another lie. Somebody has to be held accountable. No Pathfinders. All of a sudden, the eye in the sky don't work. This is all facts. This is from the people that were there. We don't know. Somebody has. This is fact paper. It's all printed out with their testimonies from the guys, the air planners, I don't know, military, AWT, all that stuff. I'm a common guy. I was in the laborers union up in Philadelphia. I'm just learning. I've been learning a lot. I've been talking to a lot of veterans. I'll be in the Acme. Little old lady will say, Mr. Strange. Up in Philadelphia, they did a lot for my son. Mr. Strange, sorry about Michael. I say, what do you say, thank you? I don't say thank you no more. Your mind goes. My son's not here. She says, did they ever find out why they put everybody in one helicopter? General Colt's statement in here when he's questioning these guys. Exact words. Did a red flag go up when you put everybody in the same helicopter? No one knows the names of the Afghans they got on. They're not on the manifest. Something's wrong here. I'm asking for the American people to help us for a change. Something has to be done. This war is not fair. The Afghans and the Taliban, it's their turf. They have more tunnels and more outs than, you seen what they did to Russia? Are you kidding me with these rules of engagement? Air Force Times has a picture. The planes flying like this, symbolizing one arm behind our back. We're losing our sons and daughters, our brave sons and daughters that go and fight for this country. And I'm asking everybody in the press to help us. Please help us get some answers. Would you like to say anything? Well, my closing statement is, and it's in the paperwork, how did you assess the crash? We had 30 plans to assess the crash. We had Black Hawks. We had Pathfinders. We had 140 men go in. You knew it was going to crash? You knew. They knew. Just like the Taliban knew they were coming with 100 guys. They knew May 10th. It's documented that SEAL Team 6 was coming. Who's the leak? Somebody has to be held accountable for. And it's all in black. It's fact. And who's profiting from this? Besides the Taliban and the Al-Qaeda? Huh? Follow the money. And is that what happened in Benghazi? Somebody's leaking something out all of a sudden? Something has to be done. I'm asking everybody to stand up and please help us. And I'd like to thank my friend here, Larry, for standing up and leading us too with Billy and Karen. That's all I got.